So this is a serious situation, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope it's not spreading. But let me explain something. The Border Patrol gave us tips. It was actually ICE, I want to be technical, in January that the border had been ordered completely open and they were staging groups of illegals and being ordered to ship them deeper in the country. It took me a good 4 or 5 months to get up off my butt and send reporters down there. And they went, and sure enough, there are the buses being loaded with the illegals. The vouchers are being given to them by the Border Patrol, and they're being deployed into the U.S. to Democratic Party facilities. Private homes, churches, you name it. Schools during the summer that were empty. It then took a month for that to break in the New York Times. Why do I mention that in relation to Ebola? Because if you can get 300, 400,000 people, it's 100,000 youth, but a couple 100,000 more adults that came with them. If you can get 300,000 people in and InfoWars can't report on it for 5 months, and the mainstream media, it took 7 months, this is how controlled press works. The alternative media can't do everything. We're completely overwhelmed. It's like trying to drink Lake Superior with a regular straw. It just can't be done. So if there is Ebola spreading, and they don't want the media to report on it, you're not going to find out about it unless more whistleblowers go public and unless we're able to document it in articles and then drudgereport.com picks it up. And believe me, they don't like the fact that we're able to sometime run their blockade and actually get the stuff out. They're very angry at us for doing this. They've demonized us like nothing I've ever done. We have been attacked just on a daily basis for months over this Ebola situation. First, it wasn't going to come here. Then it wasn't airborne. Then they weren't covering it up. Then having Ebola patients in regular hospitals wouldn't spread it. Of course, we were right about everything. They were wrong about everything because they were lying deliberately. So what do? Clearly, there is Ebola in the country, and they're covering it up. I hope that it's very low level. But why would they be leaving the borders wide open then if they're trying to cover it up and suppress it at the same time? So something doesn't add up here. We'll open the phones up on this subject. Election 2014. How big is this major realignment? Toll-free number to join us. Wide open phones, 800-259-9231, 800-259-9231. All I ask is that you be on topic. We love your calls. We appreciate you calling, but just please have a good telephone. 800-259-9231. Paul Watson's a savvy guy. I hired him 13 years ago when he was running propagandamatrix.com. He's done a great job for us, and he does a lot of research just like I do, and I really respect his view of all the analysts we interview. He's one of the smartest out there and most read. So I want to bring him on right now from London via video Skype. Paul, what is your gut before we get into your latest article on what's going on? For me, this just verifies yet again that at press conferences this is rigged and that this is a Forbes writer admitting they've agreed to cover up. And I wonder if he'll get in trouble for exposing the cover-up, because he definitely put that at the end so that he didn't get in too much trouble, but still tried to warn people. Clearly, we're going to try to get him on the show.
Well, I mean, Alex, what does it say about freedom of the press when, you know, this happened 1 week before the election? Ebola, in terms of a national news story, completely dropped off the radar. There were still suspected cases all over the country because people send them to me every single day. Yet nationally, it completely dropped off the picture. I mean, you've got an administration that's the most hostile to media since Nixon. And now we found out that this order went out from the Obama administration to the media, telling them not to report on suspected Ebola cases in the United States. It happens 1 week before an election. And as he said, it's buried. It's the last paragraph of this Forbes article, which came out a few days ago. We were probably one of the first to report it this morning. And it says that the Associated Press and other press outlets have agreed not to report on suspected cases of Ebola.
Stay there. I want to get your take on where you see this is going. We're going to try to get this writer on. This just confirms, triple confirms what we already knew. So your headline should probably be, Obama administration caught ordering media not to report on Ebola. I mean, that's really, I mean, we knew that was going on. They've told the police, the firefighters, everybody to cover up. But now this just triple confirms it.
Do you lay awake at night and worry about the health and safety of you and your loved ones? Do you wonder what would happen if you weren't able to get to a hospital or doctor? How can you keep your family safe against the deadly pathogens that are beginning to emerge in the world today? Give yourself peace of mind with Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver is turning heads around the world as a new weapon in the fight against bacteria, viruses, and fungus. Supernatural Silver can be taken internally or used topically to help the body's own immune system fight off disease much more effectively. Supernatural Silver has been tested at independent universities and laboratories around the world and has been proven to be safe and highly effective against some of the planet's deadliest pathogens. There is no better product to have in your home for daily use or emergency preparedness. Go to supernaturalsilver.com, use the code SILVER2014 for 20% off, and give yourself and your loved ones a fighting chance with Supernatural Silver.
Virtually anyone can hack your cell phone and track your calls, your texts, your emails, your every movement, but only if they can detect a signal. Stay one step ahead of hackers and Big Brother with a Block-It Pocket, a custom-made pocket infused with pure silver that creates a complete Faraday enclosure for your cell phone. For free shipping to the lower 48, visit blockitpocket.com or call 888-315-9618. blockitpocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Are you happy doing your laundry with perfume detergents that irritate your skin? Are you happy washing your hands with stinking fragrances that gives your skin rashes? Are you happy paying new, higher prices for smaller boxes? Find your happiness today with our 1 to 4 year supply of pure soaps or our 1 to 2 month sampler with bar soap, shampoo, laundry, and dish soap at 5starsoap.com. You deserve the best. Happiness is 5starsoap.com.
Another major health threat, this one in Toledo, Ohio, where everybody in the entire city has been told not to drink the water.
Ohio's governor declaring a state of emergency.
Did you know that the average person uses about 80 to 100 gallons of water at home every single day? If there's a water emergency, will you be prepared?
Panicked residents forming long lines throughout the day.
We're here at a supermarket in Toledo. You can see the shelves empty where water once was.
To stay safe and healthy during a crisis, you must have access to safe, clean water. Water which will not be available at your local grocery store.
There's a mad dash on right now to stock up on supplies.
The ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system is a must-have for every modern, independently minded household. Protect your family's safety during an emergency. Go to InfoWarsStore.com today to purchase your ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system or call 1-888-253-3139.
We all have our own idea about what being safe and secure means. The door's locked, bills are paid, you've got a job that keeps the lights on, and a home to call your own. But what happens when Mother Nature throws a curveball?
I'm telling you, take cover.
Are you prepared to live without electricity or passable roads for weeks at a time? Do you even have a plan B? If you do, are you willing to bet your life on it?
Children left with no homes.
And no one's coming to help them.
The first step towards self-reliance in the face of disaster is a visit to MyPatriotSupply.com. There you'll find the absolute best prices on storable foods, non-GMO seeds, emergency water filtration devices, and so much more. All orders over $49 qualify for free shipping in the lower 48 states. Call 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927 and speak to one of our preparedness advisors today, or visit us at MyPatriotSupply.com. Remember, before it's time to survive, it's time to prepare.
I got some good news for you. I was downtown this morning taking care of business, and I ran into 2 different groups of police officers 2 different times. And both groups of police officers ran over and shook my hand and said, appreciate the work you're doing. One group was 2 Hispanic officers. The other group was a black and white officer. And it just cannot believe how awake the police are. It's amazing. And even though you could say that the Austin Police Department was doing their job when they caught somebody here plotting to kill me, who then ran back to California and killed a cop, I still do owe them because he was there waiting to kill me, and they caught him but couldn't prosecute him, and I couldn't be told about it until it was all over. It's just really weird that that even when somebody's just doing their job, then you're indebted. And then that turns into the whole subject of how do we remove this big criminal globalist group that's in control of our federal government and try to get this country back on track, because we've got so many good people inside the military, the police, the firefighters, the nurses, the doctors. What you think of as the system, by and large, is good people, but it's the directives that are bad. It's those in control. And I know we all know this, so why can't we fix it? That's what I'm trying to get at. The American people, by and large, are good people. Unless you're talking about young, spoiled college students, and a lot of them are awake, or they're completely dumbed down. It's just not going to work anymore to call people conspiracy theorists when they question the system that's known to be lying. I didn't mean to digress there. It's just that America is waking up, and it's accelerated. And the accelerated awakening, the tip of that, is in government itself. So that's got to worry the establishment. That's why we know the NSA focuses its spying on local, county, and state and federal government as well to try to keep them in line from exposing the larger program. Paul Watson's our guest coming up. Obama vows to proceed with executive amnesty for illegals. What landslide? Obama threatens vetoes and executive orders, including immigration reform this year. I love how they call treason immigration reform, just totally open it up to anybody. After Americans reject him by giving Republicans historic gains in Congress. Paul, this is a short segment. You'll be with us in the next, then we'll go to phone calls. But let's go ahead and get back into Ebola. For those that just joined us, this is a big deal to have a major Forbes writer who's also a pharmacologist there and said, oh, well, we agreed, and the AP and others agreed not to report on what appears to be Ebola cases. That confirms what Dr. Lorenzi said here 3 weeks ago and is now battling to keep his job over when we've already confirmed it with other doctors that won't go on record. I mean, is America this cowardly that people won't blow the whistle? Cops day one told us they've been ordered to cover it up. Firemen day one told us. And then a doctor, and then another doctor, and then another doctor. But other than that, you would think people wouldn't go along with this, Paul. What type of country do we live in?
Well, you're living in a country with state-controlled media. I mean, look what Anita Dunn said, the former White House communications director. Very rarely did we communicate through the press anything that we didn't absolutely control, she told Dominican officials. So they openly admit that they control the press. There's a headline last year, White House photographers mutiny over Obama's Soviet-style controls. They weren't even allowed to take photos of Obama at these White House events. Everything had to be authorized and done in-house. They complained that it was a Soviet-style control over the media. And then you've got these White House pull reports, which the White House can edit and exercises its power to do so on a regular basis before they're sent out to news outlets, federal agencies, and congressional officers. So they've got such tight control over the media now that the Associated Press and others just acquiesced immediately and said, yes, we'll do whatever you say regarding Ebola.
And it's worse than that. CNN, others have been caught, AP as well. They'll edit his speeches to make them sound better when he messes up on a teleprompter without the White House even telling him.
Oh, yeah. White House court doctoring transcript of Obama's speech. They take out things which are embarrassing. They take out errors when it's supposed to be a verbatim transcript every time. Again, brazenly lying to the American people. And so, we had a poll back in October, the middle of October. Half of Americans don't believe the federal government is telling the truth about Ebola, and with very good reason, because behind the scenes, as you mentioned earlier, we're getting contacted by UPS managers saying that they're sending 250,000 hazmat suits to Dallas alone. So now you've got this flu season coming up. You've got top experts like the former FDA official who also wrote in Forbes that there are going to be a spate of cases in major American cities. You've got other scientists saying there are going to be over 130 cases of Ebola in American cities. And then you've got the flu season where people are going to be reporting Ebola-like symptoms, and that's going to get confused.
Let's talk about the hysteria that's going to come, especially when government lied about this up front. That will create total distrust. And that's 130 cases on the low-end computer models. Some models show thousands of cases. Stay with us.